Hello and welcome to another episode of Talking Snacks, episode 7 of A Gaming Podcast. I'm joined by, as always, Mr. Cuff.
What's up? Back at it again.
With a newcomer, actually.
Hey, I'm Kobe. What's up?
Yeah. How you guys doing?
I'm doing pretty good.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
How you doing?
I can't complain. I mean, I can, but I won't do it here.
Not going to.
Yeah. That's what my social media is for.
Right.
Yeah.
Complaining never got anybody nothing.
Yeah. Plus, most people don't care.
True.
I don't care when people complain. Those are my close friends.
Yeah.
Yeah. But just like always, we're here to cover some news, cover some gaming, all that good jazz, and just to kick it off like we always do.
Yes, sir.
How's your week? How's your week been?
Week's been pretty good. We're on fall break now, so got the last little bit of like midterm stuff, testing things out the way. So got a nice hype 4-day weekend ahead. Randomly got into Bill Burr. I know that's not gaming related, but I've been on a Bill Burr kick. Watched his entire F is for Family Netflix series. Pretty good.
That's his.
Yeah, that is his.
That's funny.
He co-created it with another guy.
I think we got on this a little bit the other night. Not the biggest Bill Burr fan. Not gonna say I dislike him, just not a big fan of him. So
I'm liking him. He's crazy, but he's just the right amount of crazy to be likable. I'm finding. So yeah, I've seen like 3 of his specials on YouTube. Very angry man sometimes, but got some good points, got some good rants, and he does it in a very funny way. But other than that, playing through Borderlands 3 still, working on platinuming the game, platinuming, getting all the trophies for the game. Yeah, there we go.
we can edit this if you want.
Nah, it's fine. You can leave it in.
We're human.
I tried to turn into a verb.
We're human.
Platinuming the game. I'm going for the platinum trophy.
Going for the plat.
Yeah.
Plat in the game.
Yeah. I got just a few like ones left to discover certain locations and whatnot. That's what I've been on. What you been up to, Colby?
Well, I jumped into Borderlands 3 recently, and I kind of regret it because I've jumped in a little late. I didn't jump on it right when it came out, but
Like a month? It's been a month and it's too late?
well, I mean, it's never really too late to get into the game, but this whole time I didn't jump on it, and I wanted to avoid spoilers, but also start up late, which is kind of a contradiction. But I'm using this break as time to play the game a lot more, and I'm making good progress on it. I really like it so far.
Are you experiencing the thing that I always feel like I get when you jump into a game late and you have friends that have already played it?
Yeah.
Are they just fucking carrying you through and you don't feel like you're actually experiencing it as much as they're just pulling you through?
Well, the thing that's cool about Borderlands 3 is that they make it so that you play on the same level, so you're at least not progressing through the game unnaturally.
So it's still a decently hard struggle. It's not like they're killing everything immediately and you're just like following them.
Yeah, well, there's the same sort of, kind of hard to say, but it's like the sameness of like, I guess like a Castlevania game where it's never too hard. It's just the same sort of baseline difficulty, and they do a good job of making it so that no matter how overpowered your party member is, he's still killing people with the same amount of ease as you are. And that just makes story progression a lot more normal. Especially for me, who's jumped in late.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've enjoyed it. I'm going to hope to beat it while I'm on break. I've got like 3 days left. 2 days, actually.
I don't know how long the game is, but if
I
you dedicate 3 whole days to any game,
Yeah.
you should definitely be able to beat the
We're about, halfway
whole
through?
game.
I don't want to say how far along we are.
I'm fairly certain that I feel like we're halfway through. I have that feeling.
Yeah.
The way the story's kind of
Yeah.
yeah
It's
hit
reached,
like maybe like a climax and kind of dipped, and then now you're
Yeah.
back towards another one or something like that. Yeah.
yeah. Some arcs have ended and some sagas have begun. Yeah.
There's a couple twists and stuff.
Well,
we haven't, or he hasn't gotten to yet. I've been doing co-op with him,
Yeah, we've been playing together.
and I'm trying to keep everything hidden, trying to stay back, let him activate the switches and plot points and everything. So
See, that's kind of what I was talking about. Where like just every time I've ever came into a game late, it seems like your teammates who have played forever just run ahead. They're like, come on, and they just beat the shit out of shit. And you're like, where am I going? And you're like fucking 40 clicks back, and they're activating like 4 doors, and automatically you get teleported to where they're at. And you're like, what? What happened?
It's not that bad. They did do a good job with the level syncing thing, like what he said, where, I think he just hit level 30. And
25?
No, 25-ish. So the enemies are 25-ish to him, but to me, they're level 50, 51, because, the level sync thing. Where it does come into play, though, is, like, even though their healths are still the same, like, for us, my loadout is...
He has more abilities.
Yeah. Like, all my weapons are purple and orange stuff. So that gives me an edge on killing them. So, it looks like I'm killing them rather quickly, but it's just, like, not that I'm overpowered, I've just got better guns. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I don't have to progress any further. I've hit the wall, so I've got in-game weapons. If that makes sense at all.
I mean, it does. It seems like most co-op games kind of try to do that.
Right.
But you make it seem like it's doing a better job than
older
sure. Games that try to do the same thing.
Borderlands 2, if I was level 50 and I hopped into his game where he's like level 25, literally any gun I pick up would just like red mist any enemy I shot with just like one bullet. And it's not that way. They still take damage before they die. So they did a good job with that. I'm a fan.
And it's not like his enemies are different from my enemies. Like if I look at an enemy that's level 25, that enemy for him is level like what, 50?
Yeah, 50, 51 depending on what they are.
The damage. I don't know
that's confusing to me.
I don't know how that works. I don't know how they do
I mean, it
on your screen it's a lower level, but on his screen it's a higher level.
Yeah, the numbers are just allocated for that, I guess. So like my guns do like 1,200 damage a shot, and it moves his health bar like that much to me. But I don't know what kind of net numbers he's working with, but it'll still move the health bar that much on his side. So it just works out.
It's magic. I don't know.
It just works.
That's what most video games are.
Yeah.
Magic.
What have you been up to this week?
God damn it. I'm at wit's end. I'm at motherfucking wit's end. I've been playing Gears since launch. I've been doing ranked.
Yep.
I can't anymore.
Did you find some teammates this
No.
time?
No. I need a structured team.
Yeah, well.
Like, I literally... Like, today is probably, like, my last straw of this shit. You play with randoms. It doesn't matter. More than often, I come in top of the team. And it's just that you do good, you get put up a couple of notches, just enough to where it's like you're fucking fighting platinum. And then you die twice in those, and then you get put back with fucking shit-tards.
Yeah.
And then here you are again, and it's been rinse and repeat. So I think I'm getting a feel for what the ranking system actually does now. And I do think it is based a lot on win, lose, instead of like KD and stuff.
Oh yeah, no, that shit doesn't matter at all. If it follows like the same, MMR, which is like matchmaking ranking like from all the other competitive games. Like, I was real big back in the League of Legends days, the Elo Hills and stuff. Like you're stuck here in this sort of gold silver, thing. Like it's right in the middle. That's where the biggest player base is, and it's just a fucking amalgamation of just whatever the hell.
Like I absolutely had my worst match to date today.
Yeah.
And I even got on. I typed out and was like, "I'm sorry. I'm trash. I am so sorry." And there was nothing I could do. And it's not like the team was doing much better, but I feel like I was somewhat responsible because I don't know. I feel like I do good enough just to be put in this slightly higher rank just to get knocked back.
Yep.
And I think I'm done like trying to do this on my own. No doubt.
Dude, I don't blame you.
It
sucks.
It's got to a point where I want to break things, which is not good.
They should incorporate like a ranked team thing. It took.
That's what it should be. You would think, but like I swear, it's like the guys that got my rank are just lucky. They did their what is it? Placement matches, and just so happen to get stuck in Silver 2, and then they play with some people that are Silver 2, and it's awful. Yeah. It's awful, and I don't even think Silver 2 should be. That didn't sound good to me.
I don't know.
Silver 2 sounds like garbage to me. I think that's butt rank.
Better than bronze, I'm assuming.
Yeah, but I've been fighting that for pretty much like this whole podcast. Yeah. Every week I just come on and say the same shit. But I did take a break a little bit, and I jumped into some of the Game Pass games.
Did you start up Dead Space yet?
No, I can't buy that.
You need to get on that.
I would like to.
Dead Space what?
Dead Space.
Oh, I've been reading the comic book. I got a comic book for Dead Space, and like I'm really into like the lore and stuff about it because it's just hype. It's hyping me up.
Because they did like a movie too, didn't they?
Yeah.
Movie.
But what I've looked up on the internet and stuff, this comic precedes a Wii game, and then of course you can't. It's awful. But there's a comic, a Wii game, another comic, a movie, and then
Isaac Clarke.
Yeah.
On the Ishimura.
Yeah. So, I don't know. I want to read this. Well, yeah, I'm done reading that, but I want to play that. But financial responsibilities don't allow me to just buy games, and I know that sounds silly, but $20 when you ain't got it is a lot of money.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. The first one's probably the best, but the second's my favorite.
Yeah, the second one.
Because Isaac doesn't talk in the first one. It sets the tone, the atmosphere really well. But the second one's a lot more. I don't know. I don't want to describe it too much because it might spoil some things if you've never played them. But really good. Third one, garbage.
Coming from this newfound life that I have over here in the corner, I was gonna buy it actually earlier this week on Steam, and I read a bunch of Steam reviews, and they were like, "Don't buy this on Steam. Buy it on Origin." Because apparently the Steam version is like an original version that doesn't have any updates. It's just like a base game, like no quality. It's kind of like the original release.
What's wrong with that?
When you're putting it on, there's a lot of compatibility issues when it comes to putting it on. Yeah. So the EA Origin version actually kind of.
If only there were boxes, we could just plug into our TV and play the game.
Yeah,
they should make those.
They should. I don't. What would the?
What would we call them? How would they work?
I don't know.
Man, it's crazy.
But yeah, I looked into that, looked into all that good jazz. But so far, dove into Game Pass and Gears, all that good jazz. Dishonored 2. It's been a little bit of fun. I know it's old and dated, but it's new to me on Game Pass, so having fun with it actually.
That's what I mean. Yeah, that is a huge playground.
Yeah, it doesn't feel big when you just dropped into it. You don't understand how big it is.
Mm-hmm.
But after you die like 30 times in 40 different ways, and you start like looking around, you're like, okay, I can go on top of this building instead of like going through this alleyway. Yeah, like you said, it's a big playground, but it doesn't seem big at first. So thank God for Game Pass. I bought it for $1 like 2 months ago, and it's still just running. So
get your money's worth, no doubt.
Definitely, yeah.
You want to switch over to news?
Well, this is what I want to bring up.
Okay.
We've done this consistently for what? A little over a month now. We have segments.
Almost 2. Okay, yeah, we have segments.
We have segments now. It's been so consistent that I would like to call these What We Care About.
Ooh.
Yeah. Because like we stated in probably previous podcasts, we don't cover all the news. If you want that, you can go somewhere else. Not telling you to go listen to something else, but if you want all your gaming news, go listen to a podcast that actually covers everything. But we want to talk about what we actually fucking care about.
What we resonate with.
Yeah. What really brings us home to the gaming forefront. So I want to designate this segment as What We Care About. And what we care about this week is goddamn there's some fucking Blizzard news that you brought to my attention.
Yeah, this is big to me because
it's pretty much big to the gaming universe because I've seen it. I haven't dove into it, but it's all over like my YouTube subs and whatnot.
Well, it flipped everything on its head basically. Because if you haven't been living under a rock, there's been Hong Kong protests for like 4 months now. With some, then we're trying to get a law passed or something. But earlier this week, there was a professional Hearthstone player, which, Blizzard game.
It's a card game, right?
Card game, yep. Yeah. Based off of World of Warcraft lore.
Still
reminds me a lot of Magic the Gathering. That's all I'm going to say.
A little bit. Not so much, but it does have its intricacies.
I've watched people play it. What you think is Magic? But
I
don't know.
It's very luck-based, very pay-to-win game. I'll support
Magic?
that. Both. I mean, I guess, yeah.
It's Magic, right? Yeah.
Magic and Hearthstone. Hearthstone, I would say more than Magic, honestly. But yeah, earlier this week, there was a professional player, goes by the name of Wai Chung. His Blizzard name, Blitzchung. professional player. He went on a stream to do an interview. Had a gas mask and goggles on and like a little baklava thing. And as soon as he got on stream, he just lowered his gas mask and said, "Liberate Hong Kong." And the two Chinese interviewers that were on stream literally immediately had to cut the stream out. And within a few hours, Blizzard had banned him for a year, stating that, they pointed to some specific instant rule thing.
Some terms and conditions.
Yeah, terms and conditions thing. And it said something.
Just threw a dart at a fucking board of TNCs, yeah.
Essentially, it was some vague thing like players are not allowed to express their political views, whatever thing, something. So we're banning them for a year. And then after that happened, that's when the fire started. Every social media outlet relating to games, some even not even related to games. I saw a lot of it on Imgur, which is just a meme platform basically. People uninstalling World of Warcraft, disconnecting themselves from Blizzard, getting rid of their subscription, just erasing anything that has anything to do with Blizzard.
Developers too.
Yeah, even developers are on the fence about what they should be doing.
Guy who did most of the direction for the restoration of WoW Classic himself. Apparently used to live in China. He's also, ceasing any support for Blizzard, projects henceforth.
Where this gets topsy-turvy, even more so, is turns out Blizzard's got hands in China with Diablo Immortal because it's a Chinese developer working on a game that's got a huge Chinese player base. So they took, I guess, the safe route and banned any sort of revolt thing having to do with their game to persuade the Chinese people working on the game to keep making it. Like, oh, we're standing up for, our Chinese people, whatever. And it just made it worse. Because then a lot of people were like, oh, Blizzard's going to lose money on this. Blizzard's going to lose. Their stock market's going to be terrible. And like the next day it hadn't even moved. So the investors don't care about it. Blizzard doesn't care about it.
I don't
They just
see
want the
why
game.
it's such a big deal for someone. I want to preface this with, I never really want to get political on this. I don't have much knowledge of, world politics and stuff like that. And I know politics and religion-esque things are just sticky. It's just bad for business most of the time. When people say one thing, people disagree, you immediately get slandered. Mm-hmm. But I do not understand why Blizzard took the action that they did.
I don't know either.
I think they could have been just fine letting the guy make his own actions and sit in the pool that he made.
And just said, whatever.
It's him. He's an individual.
Yeah.
But now it seems like they've kind of backed the Chinese government, and
that's what everybody's taking.
Yeah, but I understand, there's money going to places that people can't see, and I don't... Yeah, but I think Blizzard probably would have helped themselves by not doing anything. Just letting...
should have been something where they just said, nope, we're not getting involved with that, whatever. He said that, cool, let everything fall on him. Let the repercussions fall on him.
Yeah, but now they're somewhat
now
anti-political advocates.
They are like Nazis now, basically. Everybody's basically just pointing the finger at them like, Blizzard doesn't care about gamers, they just want money,
But I mean, that's what companies are. They're companies. They don't care about most people.
But then when you do a thing unjustly, everybody freaks the fuck out.
Yeah.
So.
Like I said, I do think they should have just kind of let him do his own thing.
Yeah. Who are they hurting in that situation?
Yeah, it would have just hurt himself, because what was he, like a professional or like a pro player?
Yeah, he's a streamer, pro player, all that good stuff.
So yeah, it wouldn't have hurt Blizzard at all. It wouldn't have hurt anybody but himself. But
no,
actually, it wouldn't even hurt him, because them banning him would have gave him more followers, more reason to be, outspoken.
I agree.
So
there, that is. That's probably the biggest thing that's happened in the past week. That, we'll see how it goes. Will it lead to World War III? Maybe. But,
a Blizzard account leads to World War III. You know what?
Hey, one guy got killed for World War I.
Man, yeah. It wouldn't surprise me. It's a crazy world.
It wouldn't surprise me either, honestly, at this point. You've had millions of people marching for 4 months. One streamer gets banned. I'm sorry, one pro player / streamer gets banned, and it's like, this affects us somehow now. All of a sudden, I'm not saying I'm on their side. You know, I am 100% on their side. But I was just trying to make light of the situation. You know,
but I feel like I need to let this situation just kind of roll over. But Blizzard kind of has been. They've been known to not be for the player quite a bit because they're part of Activision and Blizzard Activision.
Well, Activision just owns them now, right?
So I don't know. So they have a lot of anti-consumer just tactics when it comes to pretty much every game they fucking own. So
at least they got WoW Classic going for them, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seems like people are dying out on that too. I didn't even put that on the list, but
people
loved it when it first came out. It was like it broke Twitch records and whatnot. But here we are. What? It's been 3 weeks, maybe, right?
It's bad. A little over a month.
Over a month, really?
Yeah, I know. Man. But it's funny because like the whole thing behind it is just like mainly nostalgia. You know, people are like. You know, for years, people, you know, have, like, stereotypical, like, day one WoW players that are like, oh, you don't know what it's
nostalgia
like.
Glasses, man.
Yeah, they're like, oh, you don't know what it's like to not be able to queue for dungeons. You don't know what it's like to have to be able to walk to quests and stuff. And they're like, I can't wait to have that back. But they always leave out that one of the things that you had to do in WoW Classic, or, like, WoW Vanilla, was you had to wait to even get into the game because of how limited, like, the servers and stuff were. And they brought that back too.
Yep.
So people did have to.
Oh, I watched the first day it released. I watched a guy. I can't remember his name. I think we used
Asmongold.
Yeah, Asmongold. Yeah, I watched him because he was the top on the Twitch list.
That's the World of Warcraft guy.
And he got in immediately, and everything started chugging. You know, like just kind of glitching around, and
this is WoW Classic.
They were fighting for like that first quest. I don't know how the game works, but they were all ran to the first one. And got the quest, and it was like a line to get to the fucking first quest, and they were beating the shit out of just some rats or something out in the grass or whatnot. And one guy leveled up, and they were like, "How the fuck did he level up? How the fuck, man? We was like the first ones, you know." So yeah, it was cool to watch, but
Morgan was.
I don't understand how having a newer version of a game and then releasing, as you called it, vanilla version of a game. What is this game gonna like slowly roll up?
Yeah,
and build back to this, or what is that?
Are they gonna release their own like separate version of like Burning Crusade or like Lich King? You know.
Yeah, like at what point does the game stay its own self without being boring, without taking the same route that the same game took? 18 years ago?
It's 2004, I think.
15 years ago.
But yeah,
Jesus.
Yeah, so. It has a game, but they wanted this, and now where do you go from there?
Are they gonna patch WoW Classic? You know.
What if it takes like an alternate universe route?
Oh my
we just
God.
end up with like a comic book fucking Marvel Universe bullshit.
Instead of enslaving Illidan Stormrage, we execute him on the spot, and then Legion can't happen, and then the world ends.
I have to go over here. I don't know what we're talking about anymore.
I was talking to Morgan about it Friday. He played it a little bit and then immediately stopped because it is very much just WoW Classic. None of the commodities that come with the new versions.
Yeah, no quality of life. It's just OG.
It's just OG as hell.
Yeah.
Like you said, there's no party finder. There's no dungeon finder. How? Yeah. How do you live with that?
But why would you?
You have to go to the dungeon you want to do, stand outside.
Oh, LFG.
And be like,
LFG,
yeah, be like, anybody want to run this? Anybody want to run this? Anybody want to run this?
I'm sure that was fine.
Your Hearthstone takes like an hour to recharge versus 15 minutes?
You can't fight more than 2 enemies at the same time.
You just get mollywopped. They've got the whole warlocks making their portals, making money off that. You got the wizards making mages making their portals.
It's funny though, with all that being said, and like having all this difficult stuff, just due to like the basis of WoW Classic, people have obviously played it before, so there are already like raid groups that have just destroyed all the bosses.
Yeah, I think I read an article that said like
somebody beat Ragnaros in like within 2 days. Of
Yeah, and
without
like
even-
originally it took them like weeks, and it took
Yeah.
like 2 days.
They
Yeah.
didn't-
Some guy had been sitting there the whole time. And he was just like dusting off the notebook. Like,
Yeah.
all right, guys, I got the strats here still. You remember this?
They don't think their raid team was even like fully optimized either.
I don't even remember. I used to write this bad. You know. Just like-
Ooh, God.
Gear score.
This is it's time for Leroy to make a return, right? 15
hell fucking yeah.
15 years later.
The original fucking meme.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know what meme came before that. Some X-Play stuff. I don't know.
Maybe. That's the big World of Warcraft one though.
Yeah.
I don't even know if they have that raid that they were doing yet. That come after
That was
World War?
what was that? Black Forge something.
It was the one with the dragon eggs in it. Fuck, I don't know.
What, I
Yeah,
thought it
because
was
they have
Blackwing Depths.
Blackwing Depths.
I
There you
think.
go.
It's Blackwing something. It's in
No,
that-
Black Forge is the dwarven one.
because they have a
Sorry.
percentage chance with point whatever repeating
repeating,
threes.
of course. yeah.
Repeating threes.
You think they brought back ninja looting?
I hope so. I hope they brought back.
You
every...
didn't play?
No, I didn't play.
What?
I didn't start playing World of Warcraft until I was.
Okay,
younger.
so you didn't have the. Okay, yeah,
no,
that makes sense.
I'm not doing WoW Classic. That's not for me.
Yeah.
It's not for me either. That's
There's no reason for me to play WoW Classic.
same.
Because like they brought back everything, like even the things.
I thought about it, not to
Yeah.
cut you off, but you know all this good shit and whatnot set up and stuff. I never was able to play World of Warcraft, but it's not me, man. Like I've always stated, I have Final Fantasy 14, and I think one MMO. I don't want to say in my lifetime, but like, god damn it,
it's gonna
as long as it continues, I think one MMO your life, it's fine.
I'm the same way. There's no way that you. I mean, you could play multiple MMOs like if you just had constant time, but you'd have to devote. You already have to devote.
Well, if you want to get
Yeah.
like in game and be fucking
Crazy,
get your, I don't know what they're called in that, but your animal weapons or whatnot, and all your mounts and stuff. So
But like, I'm glad that they kept WoW Classic as WoW Classic because people can say now that they're playing the game that they love, but they can also now complain about the things that they used to complain about.
there's
Like-
nothing to complain about anymore.
Like-
but we will.
Like, like we can't fly anymore. It's like they used to say like, back in our day we couldn't fly to the quests and stuff. We didn't have quest markers.
Do
It's like
they have Griffin routes still?
I think so. I think that's all they got.
Fuck.
I don't know.
All I know is I play Final Fantasy, and when I go back and I do the older maps or whatnot, and I can't fly, it's
It hurts.
garbage.
It hurts.
It's garbage.
Yeah, it's funny though.
But moving on down the.
On the flip side of that, World of Warcraft current, I guess. How do you distinct the two?
Patch
You got-
7.737.
That version of World of Warcraft is nearing its big shit, right?
I guess.
The Battle for Azeroth.
I mean, story-wise, the whole fucking war that's been going on for like 15 years has ended, more or less. I don't know how that's gonna work out because right now, a lot of times, they have the Horde and the Alliance, and they have to fight each other because that's how the game works. You got one side and you got the other side of people for PvP because that's how it works. But story-wise, we're actually finally at a little pinky held in hand moment where
Little truce.
everybody's happy. But I mean, they did the same thing at the end of Pandaria, and it was like
That's the one that had the panda.
with the
Yeah.
pandas in it.
Yeah.
At the end
I
of
remember that one.
At the end of that,
It was on
everybody
G4 Tech TV.
Yeah, everybody was like, "All right, we can get along. We can fight together." But
But not really. Fuck you.
yeah. I mean, that's how Legion ended. We saved the whole universe, and then the first thing we do after that is, "Hey, you want to fight over at, you want to kill the king
At these
whatever.
islands that we never knew existed
Yeah,
on this
it's-
planet.
Yeah, that's always weird when they suddenly realize that there's like a continent that they've never seen before.
I mean, you gotta have a reason to
Yeah.
expand the lore.
Yeah, but now this is the big one because Sylvanas Windrunner, right, is basically just like, fuck everything, fuck all y'all. I don't need the Horde, the Alliance, nothing, because I'm the Banshee Queen or whatever she calls herself.
Yeah, she summoned Cthulhu. Cthulhu. It's Cthulhu.
This has somehow become a World of Warcraft thing.
Well, it's a big thing. It's a lot to cover.
Well, he only knows because he watched the cutscene, but I was there when it happened. So we have to fight him, like, I don't know, a year from now.
Yeah, she's basically an avatar for Lovecraftian S monsters, and I guess she just thinks she can make it on her own. Bitch about to find out the hard way when that 40-man raid comes out. You know.
We good?
Yeah, I think so. Got our Blizzard World of Warcraft news out the way.
Wasn't even on the topics, but
Yeah,
That's
you know,
okay.
that's how it
that's what we do, though.
It's a conversation. We're human, right?
Yeah.
It's a
That's what we do,
conversation.
though. Yeah, good old tangent.
You don't want to just go on a baseline.
Next up on what we care about, as I like to call this, straighten my tie up.
Yeah, okay.
Witcher 3. This is a big fucking week for Switch owners. I was very excited last week when I brought this up to you when I was writing up notes last week. This week is fucking dope.
For the Switch owners?
Well, just in general for news, because Witcher 3 is going to release, and
They should call it the Switcher 3.
Oh my god.
Right?
they can call it whatever they want, but
It's going to look like garbage on
it
the
is going to
console.
look like garbage, and that's what I'm very interested to see what the player base, fan base says.
Yeah, you think that game had
Because
glitches then?
I know that the game is going to look like trash. We've seen it. But if it plays, does it matter? Not really, but it will look like fucking garbage. It will.
Yeah.
Like I said, we've already seen it. But this is a huge fucking release.
I guess so. Gerald's going to look like butt.
Yeah.
Like, he's going to have, like, a PlayStation 1 polygons and stuff.
It's not
Maybe
going to be.
not that-
It's
it's
not
not
going
gonna
to
be
be
that
that bad. But I'm happy that someone is putting that much attention to detail towards this. The Switch. Bethesda is like the only other person or developer that actually ported something. I don't know, graphically intensive to the Switch. Like
Well,
if
yeah,
you
but
think,
they port it to everything, though.
I mean, not Wolfenstein. Wolfenstein 2, right? Got a Switch port. Doom 3, not Doom 3. Doom
Doom.
The new-
2019.
Doom.
Sorry,
The new
yeah,
Doom.
yeah, Doom 2019. Yeah, it got its port, and they had to do things to it to make it run. But the big thing with this is, it's all on one cart. This is like the biggest file size on like a singular Switch cart.
Okay.
When you install the game, there's no downloads. Most games, when you buy them on Switch, you put them in and you got a humongous download because most Switch carts are very tiny.
Well,
and,
that's just every game nowadays anyway, right? Day one patch, install, copy file.
but it's cheaper for it's cartridges, so it's a little more.
I guess so. Why don't they just make their console comparable to like an Xbox or a PlayStation so they don't have to get ported?
But those don't have 3D Rumble.
That is true. Damn. I'm gonna go buy my Switch right now. You know what I mean, though?
I mean, I get it, but like Nintendo's never been the one to lead the way.
Well, that's dumb, in my opinion.
They're doing just fine.
Yeah, they're
I guess so. But think of the developers. They sit there and they release like a AAA game, and it's like it'll be
It's
out
not
on
hurting anyone at this point.
It'll be on PlayStation,
They-
Xbox, and PC.
Most
like,
developers
this
say that
date.
it's going to hurt them.
And then
to,
a year later, they're like, "Oh yeah, it'll get ported to the Switch a year and a half from now, 2 years from now."
most developers say that
What
it's
if they
going to
don't have
hurt
those
them to do
consoles?
that.
Well, yeah, because they have to sit there and go back and
But-
reconfigure assets. That's time. That's time and money wasted.
Their games are getting resold years later at an astronomical amount. Like
Sure, but
the game is fucking
the time
what?
they could
What
go
game-
into,
what-
like,
what
Witcher
year did they
4,
come out? Like 20
The time they could go into Witcher 4 is instead being wasted on Witcher 3.
no, it was offhanded. They handed it off to somebody else. It
So-
wasn't them.
So some other no-name developer is developing.
Yeah, but
someone else's game.
I think it's gonna be fine.
I think it's stupid.
It
know.
might be a little stupid, but I think this is good for Nintendo, and obviously good for fans, especially people that want to play it on the go. People that's never fucking played it. Is this where you would want to play it? Probably not.
Well, it's like what comes out next month, right? The new Call of Duty game. Switch gonna get it right off the bat?
No.
No,
I
of
doubt
course
it
not.
gets it at all.
A year from now, it'll come out and they'll be
I
like,
doubt
"Oh,
it gets
here
it
you
at
go.
all.
You can play it at 15 FPS, the newest Call of Duty, and then by that point, the PS5 and Xbox 4 will be out. So
But see, most of the people that own Switches, like myself included, do not care. I know what I bought a Switch for.
Nintendo exclusives.
Yeah, that's exactly what I bought it for. And for developers to actually go through the trouble to port things is fine. I enjoy that extra effort. They don't have to, but
But it looks
they
like butt.
obviously see.
The games look like butt.
They
after
obviously
get
see
ported.
that there is money to be made there, because of how well the console is selling. So, 16 million units in what? Little over 2 years?
How many of those had to be returns? And
Doesn't matter. That would still be, yeah. It's not gonna double or.
all I'm trying to say is, if you haven't played Witcher 3 now, by this point in time, why are you gonna play it on the Switch?
Why wouldn't you? It's portability. You can play it on the go. You can start and stop whenever you want.
You're gonna sacrifice quality for just being able to play it on the go.
Yeah.
That's silly.
3D Rumble.
3D Rumble.
There you go.
That's silly.
And you can take the controllers out. You can
I can buy a $70. I can buy a $70 apparatus just for my Joy-Cons to break a week later.
But same thing with Skyrim when it came out. You know, it launched with it. But like you said, they port things to everything. Bethesda, except for fucking Fallout. Can we please get Fallout
on the Switch?
On the Switch.
No. Well, Bethesda's weird. They port They have so many versions of Skyrim that I don't even know how many versions of Skyrim there are now.
Well, boy, that news went over very well with you guys.
No, I hate Nintendo.
Well, I don't know.
So I think this next bit is going to do just about the same. But just going back just a tad, I think Witcher 3 will do just fine. I'm very interested to see how the player base takes it, because obviously going to be a different graphics. As long as it holds a 30 FPS,
which it won't.
It has to. If it doesn't,
it won't.
If it doesn't, then it's a shit show from get go. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll be really bad. But I mean, it looks shitty enough to probably hold that frame rate. I think it'll be okay. I mean, it's a big, expansive open world with endless amount of things to do. To have that on the go is like, most people that own a Nintendo product are probably coming from a Pokemon upbringing or some kind of RPG upbringing. That's what you had a Nintendo handheld to do. And having that on the go is like fucking Pokemon on steroids. It's just going to be a never-ending fucking journey. Because, goddamn, when I played The Witcher 3, I never got anywhere because it doesn't matter what you do in that game, it shoots off into 38 different storylines. Yeah. One storyline
goes this way, and then you
you talk to one person, and you end up in a different town or a different like fucking 4-hut village, and there's a 38 side quests
per NPC,
and then you start one side quest, and it ends up with like 4 different branching storylines, and then in the midst of that, you find 4 different just random things in the woods that turn out to be their own individual non-story linear things that. What the fuck's in here? And then you dive into a dungeon, and you're like,
they'll probably cut out the vast majority of those, I would think.
It's supposed to be the whole game. DLC included.
What's the file size for Witcher 3?
On newer hardware, I think it's up to 100 gigs.
How are they going to put that on the Switch?
I think it's on a...
That's going to look like one of those shitty...
I think it's on a 64... It might be a 64 gig cart. I might be mistaken. It might be a 32 gig cart.
That's a lot of space to be removed.
But I mean, when you take resolution down to 720 from 1080, you're literally saving a lot of space.
Yeah, that's
you as a media major.
Yeah, they're gonna.
You can see that in file sizes, right? Yeah,
they're gonna compress the hell out of that game. It's gonna look like one
You've
of those.
seen it. I mean, yeah.
It's gonna look like one of those 10 megabyte movies you see on like the 4chan.
It's gonna look like
section.
there you go. It looks like it's gonna look like an old albino black sheep flash.
Yep.
There you go.
They're just going to compress the hell out of it. Everything's going to be pixely as hell. And just,
So let's see how well you guys take the next news that you can obviously see. So you're preparing yourself for.
Yeah.
Overwatch on the Switch.
Shit.
I don't know. I haven't seen. What, do they have like a trailer for this or something?
Yeah.
Well, I haven't seen it. I don't really play Overwatch religiously. Like I hop on it every now and then when I'm bored, just to play whatever new character came out, and then just go to custom lobbies and screw around for like an entire day.
Yeah, I think we was doing something over here one time back in the day, and just literally put your headphones. Yeah, you came over here, you put headphones on, and we was looking, and you just had like infinite ultras or something.
Infinite ults, just screwing people around.
Yeah.
I haven't played Overwatch in a minute either, because what's it, like a 3-year-old game at this point?
I think so.
It's ported to the Switch?
Yeah.
It's like what?
When did it come out? 2016.
I think so. It's definitely it's got some age behind it.
Yeah.
but it's
on a
still very popular.
On a side note, May from that game has become a Liberate Hong Kong
Yeah,
mascot. So
there we go. Yeah,
there that is.
There's a good segue.
Yeah,
There's news.
that's the best thing to come out of Overwatch being ported to the Switch. Because the
Is
game's
the
gonna look.
segue?
The game's gonna look like. But again,
The game definitely got graphically downgraded.
Yeah.
It's gonna run at a max of 30 FPS.
if that.
Yeah, I don't know if it's locked. It should be. The game's not graphically intensive anywhere, no matter where you play it. It's a cartoony, arena shooter.
Why don't they just? I don't know. I just don't understand it. Why do they do it?
Does that mean that Tracer's going to be in Smash Brothers?
That's what I thought. I thought she'd make a pretty good character. Blizzard made an announcement after they made that announcement to Nintendo. They said, you're free to have any of our Overwatch characters in Smash. And, Nintendo doesn't give a shit. They're not going to respond. Yeah, any.
Any of them.
But, you would figure, damn, I did the snort thing. Oh, well.
The
Came back.
sport thing.
Yeah. Cleared my sinuses.
Oh, you breathed.
I cleared my
How
sinuses.
dare you?
I try to not do that when I'm recording. But they did, like I said, they did say they could have any of their characters they want. And the biggest one would definitely be Tracer, right?
Like the poster character.
Yeah, she's the poster
go-to
girl.
one.
And I could think of how she would work in Smash.
And she could be like beside like guns, she could be like a kicky kind of.
I think her guns would work,
Like
and
a
her side B would be a cool little, like
Teleporty thing.
Yeah, like a little
Yeah.
teleporty thing. Like she
combine,
could
like-
side B once, and then just tap B after that, and then go back.
I mean, she's essentially.
Like her little. I think that'd work.
She's essentially got the same sort of like, I guess like, theory as like Zero Suit Samus. Like agile, gun wielding.
You would think more agile.
Well, it's
Zero
like
Suit,
even
yeah.
but I mean faster, maybe weaker physically, but faster
I
to
just-
like make up for it.
I immediately thought like Bayonetta meets like Fox.
Fox,
There you go.
McCloud.
Yeah.
Because he does his little teleporty thing, and then
Shoots
Bayonetta
people.
is just bullets everywhere. So that's Tracer's whole shtick.
Every
So-
time they put a game on Switch, I always just think that it's some ploy to put a new character in Smash.
I mean, that'd be cool. We got Witcher 3 on there. Maybe we can get see PlayStation 1 Geralt and Smash.
Well, he's already in Soul Calibur.
Yeah.
It'd be even more. I just want them to put. This is like totally not relevant, but they need to put Ryu Hayabusa in Super Smash Brothers.
Oh, and Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, because I mean, like that's like the only. I mean, it's not the
Well,
only.
don't worry. Once Ninja Gaiden Black gets ported to the Switch later this year.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it's like he's like a classic Nintendo character, not Nintendo character.
I
but
mean,
like
it was. It was an OG. Yeah.
Nintendo platform game, Ninja Gaiden, or was it even called Ninja
Yes.
Gaiden?
Yeah, it was Ninja Gaiden.
I mean, it was simple, like Purple Ninja Man that can throw a shuriken and also swing his sword forward.
Hard game.
It was not simple.
Very
Yeah.
difficult game.
But I just want to see how they do with that.
Yeah.
Just theoretical. Who would you choose from Overwatch to put into Smash?
Who would I choose?
Yeah.
Oh.
So I think Tracer's an obvious, easy choice. But there's so many fan favorites.
It's got to be one of the mascots, right? Like
I wouldn't say it doesn't have to be a mascot.
Who would you do?
But I think
Who would I pick?
Who would you do? Just
Pick
throw
one.
one out there.
I think Torbjorn would be cool.
I'd
Like
pick,
from a mechanical point of view.
Yeah. Is there a character like that in Smash that would kind of
I don't.
could he build his own little?
Well, like think like Pac-Man, right? He throws down his hydrant. and
Yeah, so
the
that's
thing.
probably the closest thing.
So you gotta like Torbjorn do something similar, but he's got like his turret, and if he hangs around his turret and smacks it or upgrade. Well, he doesn't even do that anymore in the game. So
What?
yeah, no, his turret's completely different now since they've updated him.
You can't upgrade it?
No, it immediately comes out as like a level 2 turret, and then when he ults, it just goes to level 3. But it's like significantly weaker now or something. They've done something to him.
That's garbage.
I mean,
Damn.
well, like it's similar to the Duck Hunt dog in that sense, because the Duck Hunt dog.
Hold on.
Could,
There's a trash can in there, or you can put yourself in it. You ever fought? Yeah,
I know.
we've all played, but yeah, duck hunt. A good duck hunt dog is awful to play against.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I mean.
Shooting the cans
Yeah,
and
because that's like
throwing the little.
that's what you'd have to worry about with Torbjorn. Like you have him. I don't know what he would be doing himself. Like,
Yeah.
swinging his hammer around. But he'd like get behind you, and then you'd have to worry about the turret, and then and then you just lose sight of where you. I'd put Reinhardt in.
Yeah, right. Be cool.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of characters that, yeah, like, in my head, I was thinking McCree
Mm-hmm.
or not Hanzo,
Genji.
I think they would work really well. But how many fucking more sword players do we
Yeah,
need?
well, there's enough sword people.
Yeah,
That's
so
why. That's why I said Reinhardt, because he seems unique enough.
yeah,
You know.
seems like he'd be more of a Ganon.
Yeah. I mean, they already have King Dedede, but
There you go. Yeah, he'd be like a Ganon King DDD. Just charge it up enough, and boy, it's over if it hits you.
and I can see it now. Like his final smash, like he'd do the hammer down thing, and then that would begin like a cinematic, and then he would just charge everybody off the stage.
I just want Knuckles to be in the game as a playable character.
No.
Nah, he's a trophy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
But one can dream, right?
Yeah, see, the Switch doesn't have the 32X attachment.
That's right.
Yeah,
That's
so
right.
they
It
can't
hasn't
have.
been ported over yet.
They can only have Sonic, not
Yeah.
Sonic and
Yeah.
Knuckles. Gotta have the 32X attachment.
With
I want-
with Chaotix.
Yep.
I also wanted to pull it out.
Okay.
Oh, look at you.
Knuckles Chaotix.
There you go.
Yeah.
I was looking for my 32X expansion. I know it's around there, but yeah.
There that is.
Yeah. Moving on down the line, man. What we care about, right? Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah.
I like the title of this segment. Plants vs Zombies is getting a new release. It's been pretty fucking quiet. It actually just came out of nowhere to me.
What's the BFN stand for?
Battle for Nurgles.
Battle for Neighborhood. Battle for
yeah,
Neighborhood.
yeah.
There you go.
I knew it
Yeah.
had to be Battle
I
for
jotted it
something.
down. Didn't really remember. But yeah,
I've seen some gameplay on it. It looks cool. We used to play a lot of Plants vs Zombies.
it was super fun.
Yeah.
Is it like the original Plants vs Zombies, or like a battle royale kind of?
You mean
Like
It's Plants. It's not the battle royale thing. I know what you're asking. It's
yeah,
like
I know what you mean too. But
is it like strategy game kind of? Not like
no.
matchmaking?
It's the garden warfare.
Oh, okay.
yeah.
Okay.
But they have the classes and stuff like that.
Yeah.
There's a lot more in this one. This is basically a huge expansion for
Yeah, and
classes.
it looked cool.
Yeah. They have like mechs and shit now that they can make.
It seemed like you could combine. By the trailer that I watched, you could combine you and your friends together if you choose like a certain character, and there's certain characters.
There's like the zombies have like a satellite character. You can hop on different things, and then the plant people have like a giant tree that acorns
if you're
can hop
all
in.
like little trees, you could like converge into like an oak tree.
Yep.
And then they just sling logs at people. But you're heftier, slower, powerful. But once you die, they all die.
Yeah.
I was a really big fan of
I
the
loved
original Plants vs Zombies.
it. Yeah.
Had a lot of fun with it.
That was back when they only had like 4 classes per side, something like that.
Yeah.
Now there's a whole bunch of them. It's great.
That was-
Garden Warfare. We played a lot of Garden Warfare. Me and Justin, Daniel, and them. Shout out to the Rose on the plant side. Character
Is it still
top
Pop?
tier?
It's PopCap that does those games, right?
I think
EA has its pockets in it. So it's just, it might be PopCap that owns like Plants vs Zombies, but EA probably owns PopCap, and that's how that works. So
When are they going to port it to the Switch?
a year.
Put the
I don't know.
sunflower in Smash.
Just a healing character.
Yeah.
You don't do any damage. You just got to run around and beam
See,
sunlight
They're
at
going
people.
to put Crazy Dave in there. He's want to run around with his frying pan.
Yeah. She needs to say it though. If they put sunflower in there, she needs to say sunflower. Like constantly, to the point where it's
It's
annoying.
very cute.
It is a very cute game.
I
I
love
love the noises they have, especially like all the plants and stuff. It's the
It reminds me
Whatever
of
had
like,
like a corn launcher or whatever, and it just made popcorn noises.
yeah.
it reminds me of like Super Mario Sunshine, where you'd like go and talk to a character, and they would speak in cutscenes and stuff, but to make the gameplay easy, you would go up to a character and they'd just be like, "Oh my god,
Good day,
and then
They
the text-
constantly be dancing. Just
Yeah.
like this.
no matter
Just doing
what's
that game rhythm movement.
Yeah.
no matter what's happening, like meteor coming down. And it's just like,
Good stuff.
Speaking of meteor coming down,
wow,
it was a good segue.
yeah.
There's a
We got to
meteor-
practice on these.
There's a meteor approaching Earth. It'll be here in a month.
and we
And it's
all
getting-
die.
And it's getting ported to the Switch, so it's a very
Yeah, we have
compressed
4
medium.
more weeks of talking snacks. No,
Steve Carell's gonna hold his Switch in the bed and be like,
man, I love that fucking movie.
"That's a good movie."
I don't even know what was it. A
Friends
Friend
to-
for the End of the World.
Friend for the End of the
That was a
World.
good fucking movie.
Fantastic Friends and Where to Find Them for the End of the World.
That invoked a whole nother thing in my head, but Fortnite actually had, I don't know what to call it.
Oh, did you skip the Ring Fit thing?
We can go back.
Hold on.
Oh, fuck! I'm sorry.
we can go
It's
back.
not
Right.
linear.
My bad.
It was just, he
Okay.
made a good segue.
It's subjective. Sorry.
He made a good segue.
Oh,
I
that's
like
where the
that.
meteor thing. Okay.
Yeah, that's why,
My
he made
bad.
a good segue.
I
I
just
like
messed
that.
it all up. I'm sorry.
So Fortnite is coming. Well, came to an end,
Yeah.
didn't it?
I don't know. As of writing this and or recording this, there was a black screen that happened after we all watched it together.
Mhm.
I haven't played Fortnite in a while.
I haven't either.
I'm not gonna lie.
I'm not good at it.
Played it like once.
I am garbage.
Man, we got like good, better, and best out of this situation, didn't we? I played it. I suck at it. I played it once. Yeah. So
I do, dog. I'd like. We played it for like a few months straight, and it's like
it's just
I
battle royale in general, man. It's
But I
not a
did
good.
decent-
It's
but
not
I-
being good or bad at it. It's just
But I did.
situation.
I felt like I was decent in Apex Legends. Fortnite was just. It didn't matter what I did in Fortnite. I was terrible. I was trash.
Well, when we first started playing Fortnite, when it first came out, because we were all on that.
yeah, vanilla Fortnite.
Yeah.
Back in my
Before it turned into build an entire mansion in 3.5 seconds and then shoot down from it, it was a cool game. Before people knew how to do that, I thought we were pretty good, you know. But then it got to like a meta level where
Yeah,
it was
as
either
soon as
you're
I-
good or you're just average at shooters.
Yep.
And the good in that game was literally you build a tower in 38 seconds or 0.3 seconds, and
Yeah, if
You
a bullet
yeah.
whizzes by you, and the next thing you know, you built Trump Tower, and
Yeah.
you're shooting down from
and
it.
that kind of turned me off a bit. I think Jesse was like the real mainstay to that.
Jesse went hard at that game.
Yeah, he got to where he could fucking
He could go up on his own.
he could build his little tower real fast
You
and
could,
stuff.
you could be in a team and he'd be on his own and he'd find some way to win. You know.
Yeah,
The most I could ever do is like, oh god, somebody's shooting at us. Wall ramp there. There's cover.
I'd
How
always-
you doing over there, Jesse? And he's like, what? I can't hear you. I'm on top of the
how you
Empire
doing
State.
over there? Yeah, I'd always do that thing where I'd make a wall, but like the wall wasn't level with the ground, so my feet were
Oh,
exposed.
yeah, it was like, yeah,
I
on
don't
a hill-
know,
on a hill or
That's-
something.
I'm sure that's probably been fixed. I would hope.
I don't know.
Because like platforms when we played, when you placed them, weren't. I don't know the right word, but they didn't fucking actually stick the way that you would hope a fucking wall or floor would stick. So
Yeah, yeah.
I'd put up a wall and try to do my best, and my feet were being
They'd have like
shot.
a few little inches of clearance right
And I'm
here
like,
on the-
why? I put the wall there, and it didn't matter.
Yeah.
That's because I didn't build Trump Tower. I didn't have a small loan of $1 million.
Oh, just a small loan.
Yeah, just a small loan. But yeah, the game apparently came to an end. Or at least Chapter 1 is what people are calling it.
The saga.
Looks like they're retiring that map.
It's about time. I was wondering if they were ever getting if they were ever going to get a map 2.
Well,
Or-
that was their whole thing was like they didn't make another map. They just kept updating the map over and over again. So like tilted towers and all those other things, like the volcano, the haunted place, like
That was really impressive. From just, I don't know of another game that did it on that level.
yeah.
It's like a concept. The concept of like putting part of the game out of commission.
Yeah,
Instead of like adding something, they take away and remake.
yeah.
Well, potentially remake. I don't know what
And
the
the-
hell they're
You
doing.
guys remember when they did the? I don't know how to say his name. Was it Deadmau5?
Oh yeah, Deadmau 5 did his whole
Yeah, it did a
no
did
no
a
no
concert.
no it was
Say Dead Mouse 5.
Deadmau 5.
Dead Mouse.
Yeah,
It's Dead Mouse.
it was Marshmallow by the way. Not
Oh yeah,
Dead.
there you go.
Yeah.
They both have the hats.
They're the same.
Their hats.
They have hats. They
Yeah.
they have masks that they wear.
Character.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, he did the first ever like in-game live concert, and that was badass.
Yeah, if I was
You
a
know,
13,
from, like, a technical-
if I was a 13-year-old man, I would have been pissing my pants.
I
Imagine.
mean, I joined the game while it was happening. It's crazy.
yeah.
It was cool as fuck. He had a mocap suit apparently, and was doing like live things that was being broadcast into the game.
Did you?
Technically
Crazy.
impressive. You know, technically that shit was wild.
Yeah.
And the way the game kind of killed off places and just updated the map.
Plus the
what
map-
what game has
The map had
on that like level, what game has fucking done that kind of shit?
Well, they did it in a cool way too, because the map always had like a story going on with it, with like the meteor coming, alien technology, space stuff. Like every season kind of introduced like a new like quote unquote story arc.
I think the last thing I remember was like the shards.
Yeah.
After like the I don't know what map was, what the center was.
I am way out of the fucking. I thought it was a game about shooting people.
It was.
It is.
But yeah, they had this like the center of the map. It was right after the Thanos or during the Thanos thing.
Yeah, not long after the Avengers.
Yeah, and
stuff.
you could pick up like the crystals and you could moon jump around and.
Yep.
That was
wow,
cool.
Crazy game.
Yeah, but now they killed the fucking game while people were playing, almost like MMO fashion. When an MMO ends its life cycle, they kind of destroy the servers while people are there. They literally just killed off everybody in an ongoing game and made them watch a black hole cutscene.
Yep.
And as of right now, I don't know what the fuck's going on. People were like, it's been like 2 hours now. Can we can we play the game again?
That's a cool way to do it, though.
No.
I do like how there's no prep to it. There's no like announcement afterwards. It makes it feel more
like it's alive.
Yeah, it makes it feel more special. Like it's part of the world. It's not like, oh, we're planning to have it back up at 10 server time or whatever.
No, it's like the ending to a good show. It's like you got the season finale cliffhanger, and you're like, what next?
Because I can picture it now. Like people wake up in the morning and they're like, their phone's ringing. It's like, hey man, what's going on? It's like, dude, get on the computer. Look. They got.
And everyone just logs on to see it.
Like, and they gotta.
And it's literally just people staring at a black screen.
It's like when people used to, like, they had to get like Game Cheat magazine to actually like learn more about like secrets of games and stuff. And they're like, oh man, dude, look, if you do,
there's an Easter egg right there.
There's an Easter egg if you got it,
That'd be a cool Easter egg if they just had Matthew McConaughey from like Interstellar just float by and be like, well, I say there, partner. How you doing here, buddy?
Interdimensional handshake.
There's a Matthew McConaughey character in F is for Family. It's pretty great. Vic. He talks the same way and everything. He's just like, well, right on, man. You stuck in the singularity too. I don't know what happened to your island, but things are getting kind of crazy where I come from. That's
Fortnite.
That's Fortnite.
I don't know how we got to that, but Fortnite.
Oh, your meteor thing that you said.
No, I mean like from the whole like Bill Burr thing. I don't know how whatever.
Well, it's because Matthew McConaughey, Interstellar, the black hole at the Fortnite thing. Matthew McConaughey was in Interstellar. Yeah. There's a character in F is for Family that reminds me of Matthew McConaughey. Tangents.
Yeah.
Tangents is what we do here.
That's how it goes.
That's how it goes.
I'm starting to feel bad for a reason I'll bring up in a second. I don't want to blow over this news, but I want to just go through it really fast. We covered this about last week or week before. Ring Fit Adventure is getting released this week. It seemed really fast. It seemed like it was announced and now here it is. Yep. It doesn't seem like there was a lot of hubbub. There was no news in the background. There was nothing.
No play testing, no hands on.
Yeah, it was just... There's a game with a weird controller coming out, and now here it is a month later, and it's fucking here, apparently.
Yep.
I don't get it, but the game still, to me, I think it'll be fun.
Yeah.
I definitely won't get it, because, motherfucker, I can't afford shit. Yeah. But still, it looks fun to me.
Well, if there was a
it's like VR without having
a little bit.
The whole thing,
It's a lot better than when it was Wii Fit Adventures. Or not.
Just Wii Fit?
Yeah, Wii Fit.
Wii Fit Adventures.
That's basically what it is.
The RPG.
But a game now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If anything, I think at the very least it'll be like that game that came out for the Switch. I think it was like a launch title, ARMS. Remember?
Oh God, I hope it does better than ARMS.
Yeah.
ARMS went downhill really fast.
Where it was like, it was a super cool concept. Like you throw like real punches and the punches are in the game, which is kind of like Wii boxing but better.
Yeah.
But it just didn't do that.
It had a little more feel to it.
Yeah, it just didn't do as good.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, that is a good point. Because they always show things like this, like how it's meant to be played. Like even with the Nintendo Labs, like this is the way the game should be played. As soon as this Ring Fit Adventure thing comes out, people are just going to be like...
Yeah, they're going to be going ballistic.
So be looking forward to that whole speed run.
Yeah, quote unquote.
Yeah, whatever's going to happen with that. I think there's going to be a lot of cool things that come from that. Even if the game itself isn't a great game, I think that's a cool way to get people motivated as opposed to here's a workout game. Here's just a game about working out and we track your progress. This game is just you work out to do this.
It's coming out on the Switch Lite, right?
That's a fucking good question. I don't understand how the fuck that's supposed to work.
Yeah, because it's a Switch game, right?
It is a Switch game.
So how does the Switch? What do the Switch?
I guess
Lite players do?
It won't work for Switch Lite.
So what do you do when you buy the game and you take it home, and all of a sudden it's like, well, now it doesn't work.
Yeah, I guess you take it back. Yeah, that's pretty fucked up. Yeah, damn.
Yeah. Big brain.
Yeah, because you can't take your Joy-Cons off the Switch Lite, and you have to take your Joy-Cons off to actually play the game.
Yep. So
that means you're getting Ring Fit for Smash.
Yeah.
I want to play Smash with my Ring Fit controller.
Oh my god, yeah. No, that's an entirely different pathway of things that people could be doing.
Jesus Christ.
I'm going to beat Dark Souls 3 with my Ring... I'm going to put a banana on it and put some electrodes to my computer with my Ring Fit controller.
Well, the whole thing that I was talking about a second ago, I feel bad because we're at almost at an hour.
We're just hit an hour.
Yep, we're in an hour.
So there that is.
Yeah, and I feel bad because I got some questions in from a viewer, and I feel like I need to put him a little higher up. This feels bad for me.
What, to put him at the end?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's motivation, right? Watch the whole thing.
Yeah, but...
Well, we could do it. You can do it next time.
Yeah, I just had it structured like this, Joey, so... Yeah,
Who?
I apologize. Joey, actually.
Shout out to Joey.
Yeah.
What's his name?
Joey.
Big ups to Joey.
Yeah, he actually sent us some questions after I reached out to him. Last podcast I asked if, had some viewers, it'd be nice to have some questions thrown in towards, us. We could answer just on the spot. So I tried to keep you guys out of the light.
Uh-huh.
And, of course I had to read them, which, Anyway, the first question Joey sent in is... Did we play the Ghostbusters game that came out for the original, 360 PS3? I think it had a Wii port.
Uh-huh.
And if we did, what was our thoughts originally, and what's our thought on a remaster? If we didn't, do we plan on playing the remaster?
No and no.
I did not. I remember now that there was a Ghostbusters game, but I never played it. It's like third person over the shoulder, like Resident Evil kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember that from a long time ago.
I think it just got a remaster that came out last week.
Well, here's my thing, right? Is movies to games don't usually go well. So I usually stay away from movies to games type thing.
Most of the time.
I was trying to think of if there is a good movie to game adaptation, and I want to say there is, but I can't think of it off the top of my head.
The whole good thing, if you want to call it a good thing, that happened with the Ghostbusters game, it is technically supposed to be the third Ghostbusters. Like in
chronological, like in the lore or whatever.
It actually continues the story of Ghostbusters 2. And, I'm sure there's a lot of people out there that are humongous fans of Ghostbusters and stuff. But, that was a little before my time. Other than my love and infatuation for Bill Murray, along with Pauly Shore.
Yeah.
I never... It just never really hit me like that,
Yeah. I remember looking at the game and thinking that the game was like kind of cool looking. Because, usually when they do movies to games, they don't really care. I don't want to say they don't care about how the game looks and plays,
but most of the time that is true.
Yeah, but that's usually how it seems. Like when you play it, and you're like, this game was awful. The only reason people play this is because they watch the movie. But I
feel like most of those games are targeted towards kids that don't give a shit, and their mom's like, hey, you like this movie? Here's this game. But this is Ghostbusters. Like, what kid 10 years ago knew what the fuck Ghostbusters was?
But I remember thinking, looking at it, thinking, it's like a third person kind of shooter type game, and I remember thinking like, yeah, I mean, if they made a Ghostbusters game, that's about what it'd be like, right?
Yeah, it
Third
didn't
person-
look bad.
It did. It looked.
It still looks. It doesn't look bad. The remaster
Yeah.
looks pretty good.
Yeah.
But what came with it by, reviews and stuff I watch is, it's a third person over the shoulder.
I just-
PS3, Xbox 360 movie game.
Yeah. I never looked at it really. I never really delved into it. I never played it, so I don't know anything about it. But if it's getting remastered, I guess it's good enough to hold its own light, especially if they add anything to it.
Well, I think what made them do this is, there's Ghostbusters 3, I guess, is actually coming out next year, right?
I don't know.
Yeah,
I've heard of
Dan Aykroyd and Bill Murray are all signed on to, do their thing, and there's a whole new Ghostbusters coming out next year. So I don't know if this is supposed to take the place of the game that was supposed to be 3, or I don't know how that's going to work. But
Well, I wanna
I
say
think
that-
this is supposed to be maybe testing the waters, putting your toe in the waters,
What's the name of the movie he was in with Kylo Ren?
Oh, the dead don't die.
With Kylo Ren.
Adam Driver.
I want to watch that.
Yeah,
That
I
just-
wanted to watch that, and then I read reviews, and that shouldn't be a reason to not watch something. But
Well, fuck the reviews. I
Yeah,
like Bill. I
don't
like
know.
Bill Murray. I want to watch it.
A lot of the movies I've seen recently have been like polarized. Like the reviews are bad, but the audience likes it.
Yeah,
you know how Rotten Tomatoes does that thing where it's like, oh, critics hate it, but here's what
audience
everybody
score
else
is
thinks.
phenomenal.
Audience scores like 90%.
No, that's like the Spideyverse thing, right? Did y'all ever see the meme?
Yeah,
Where it was like literally, Into the Spideyverse is like a 99% user rating, and then like the movie critic ratings like in the high 30s or 40s, and it's like
Yeah,
you
that's-
can't go off movie critics anymore. Like just fuck them.
That's why I don't.
What'd you say the name of that movie was?
The Dead Don't Die, I believe.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch that tonight. Now that it's on in my brain.
All right.
Hell
and
yeah, it's on YouTube. Renting that tonight. You wanna watch it?
Okay, sure, why not?
On to the next question, and I didn't even.
Sorry, Joey. None of us played it. My bad, homie.
It's all good,
If you
man.
really like that game, then props to you.
None of us knew what it was.
Yeah.
I didn't even preface the name of this segment, but I wanted to call this "Topics to the Table," where we have users, bring topics to
I'm a fan.
this
I like
table.
it.
I like the name. I like the name, and I didn't say it at first, but we'll get the structure down
Yeah,
eventually.
yeah.
Yeah. His next question, I think this is going to go over all of our heads because when he said it to me, I didn't even fucking remember. But it did happen, and you'll remember that it happened, probably.
Okay.
Yeah. What are your thoughts on the new Pokemon Masters mobile game? The failure and Game Freak's apology for it, since it seems many resources were seemingly wasted on it.
Yeah, that is a thing. And
Holy
then-
shit, do you guys even remember that game?
Yeah, I remember it being hyped up, and then people got their hands on it, and they realized it was literally just like a money grab or a cash grab.
I don't even remember I remember it, about to come out. Because all gaming sources, Oh, Pokemon Masters. And then I watched a bunch of stuff about it, and then it dropped, off the map.
That's because it got negative reviews,
Yeah.
like out the ass, because it's literally just cash grab.
And my first, after you gave me those questions, my first response to that was like, holy shit, I forgot about that shit,
Yeah, if you don't, it's basically they put Pokemon on a mobile game,
Yeah.
and they have like scores, levels, something, and every time you battle do a gym battle, you have a chance to get a better Pokemon. But the RNG behind it is just shit. It's absolute shit.
And you have. I'm assuming
Yeah,
you
go ahead
have
and feel
to
it. Go ahead and feel
pay
it.
to get. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah. All right.
You can
It's
buy.
like
You
any
pay.
other fucking
All
mobile
right.
game.
You pay money to get a chance to get top tier Pokemon, and of course, you can pay even more money to guarantee a top tier Pokemon, but not the exact one you want. So then again, it just keeps digging that
Have
hole deeper.
Have you? There's like a Harry Potter mobile game. Or
Yeah,
something.
yeah. It
Do you-
had a little more steam.
Do you know about that?
Yeah.
Somebody did a video on it. It was like there's a point in the game, like you can play through the game without paying for anything. It's, I guess a little more strenuous, but there's a point in the game's, I guess, story where it's like the Devil's Snare or something that they trap those idiot kids in the.
Yeah, that was in like
In the-
the second,
in the-
first,
in
the
the
first and
forest?
second one.
In the forest?
No, when they fell into the Chambers of Secrets.
Oh,
the snares, the devil snares.
And they had to like stop moving or some stupid reason. I don't know, wizards.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
But anyway,
it was in
like
the first movie.
in the mobile game, something like that happens, and they literally, you have to watch your character get strangled, and the only way to proceed is to pay like the game currency or
Oh,
something.
that's awful.
And they made it so that you have to at that point, otherwise your character just gets strangled, like I think forever or something. I don't know.
Yeah, but to answer the question, Joey, like, I kind of had it on the... I kind of wanted to play Pokemon Masters until I seen what it was all about. Because, of course, the trailer leading up to it didn't show any of that stuff.
Yeah, I remember it done one of those like normal fucking Nintendo Pokemon anythings where they basically
hype it
just
up.
they just show shit that you want to kind of see, but don't ever show the game or how the game's gonna work or anything about anything that's you're gonna be doing the whole fucking time.
Right.
Like No Man's Sky.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like No Man's Sky. So, yeah. There that is.
What was the question?
It was just, if I remember right, just vague Pokemon Masters thing.
Oh,
Didn't play that one either. Got very bad reception once I seen what it was about. I was like, nah. I better miss that one.
Like I said, I didn't even remember it.
I don't remember
Yeah.
anything about
I-
it.
Good question though, because I forgot that even happened.
Yeah,
because it just happens so much now that
Good,
it's like,
good thought provoking. If you know
Yeah,
what I
yeah,
mean,
yeah.
digging up parts of the brain you don't even remember are there. And his third and final question, my favorite question, actually. If you could be in charge of the Game Boy Mini library, what games would you put on it? A hypothetical, if they ever did one, like a SNES or NES Classic. And I kind of shot back at him and was like, you mean like a Switch app where they kind of add games?
was he talking about like a culmination of a bunch of Game Boy games?
You know how they did like a Mini?
Yeah,
Yeah. If you had like a Game Boy,
version of that.
yeah.
Damn.
He said Game Boy Mini, and when he said Game Boy Mini, they actually had a Game Boy Advance Mini. So the first games that came to my head were Game Boy Advance games.
Does it have to be strictly Game Boy?
I mean, Game Boy. I would say Game Boy Color, or Game Boy Advance. That's
Well, then and then like
Anything with that
SP
name.
SP2.
I mean,
any-
they're
any
all the
game-
same. Yeah,
any
just
Game Boy.
Game Boy. You know,
Yeah.
Well,
3DS era.
that's great then, because Metroid Fusion's got to go on there.
That's what I was gonna say.
Kirby Nightmare and Dreamland's got to go on there.
That's also what I was gonna say. It's like we all own the same games or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
you
we
guys
were
lived in the
kids.
same house when you were younger?
Yeah, maybe.
Ah.
Shit.
Snood.
Snood. that was something.
No, let's forget.
I mean,
about that.
any of the Super Mario's would be great on there. Fire Emblems.
Shit.
Oh, those are all great.
That means that
And
you,
most of the Fire Emblems, if I'm not correct, a lot of them were Japan exclusives, right?
I think the first one.
Oh, I don't know about that. I know there was some, because I remember Justin or Jesse let me borrow one of them one time. That was hard as fuck.
I remember
I was not ready for the Fire
most
Emblem.
Fire Emblems were Japan exclusive. I think at least till the Advanced days,
Shit.
Game Boy Advance days.
They could put which Final Fantasy was on there? 4 or 3? Which one was on the Game Boy?
I don't know. That was. Your
I think
thing.
they put all of them on.
Oh well.
That was your thing. I think the first game was Japan exclusive.
The
Of
Fire Emblem.
Yeah.
The first games that came to my head were the Mario and Luigi games. I remember playing them when I was young, so it's been forever, and I don't have them. So that'd be cool to see. And games that I really loved, Sonic Advance. Those games were my shit as a kid. I used to have the Game Boy adapter, and I don't know. I just remember having like Chow Garden on my Game Boy, and I could do Sonic Advance and
Is that the one with Blaze?
Blaze. No, I don't remember Blaze.
Blaze the cat. I mean, that may have been like Sonic Advance 2 or 3 or however far they went with that.
I remember I played
I remember
two.
Big the Cat.
Big the Cat. Yeah,
Blaze,
Biggs.
Blaze the cat has like fire powers. Just
Oh.
something. Like
Cream was introduced in Sonic Adventure 2. Or Sonic Advance 2.
yeah,
my
that's
bad.
right.
The Mega Man Battle Network.
Oh yeah.
I used to love
you put
those motherfuckers.
Any of the Mega Man games on there. Mega Man 2, we had that one on
the
Game
Battle
Boy.
Network ones, or just like
no, the OG like
Yeah.
NES,
Game-
NES.
Well, see,
Mega
those have
Mans.
already been put on things.
Well, yeah, I mean, I'm just going in my head thinking of all the good Game Boy games.
I remember like a big thing for like Game Boy. I guess it was like Game Boy Advance. Was like the Four Swords, Link Four Swords.
That'd be
Well,
a good
see,
Zelda
so
idea.
that, that was a GameCube game.
Was it?
It was a GameCube game that you could attach to your Game Boy Advance with the link cable, and you could play a smaller version along with. You could basically play GameCube multiplayer with your GBA.
Put that in there.
I don't think that would work like that, but
Do it anyway.
Online capabilities.
Do some modern technology magic. Put it in there.
But yeah, you guys don't remember the Battle Network games?
No.
I feel
They had a whole show about them and everything.
that's the one where it looks like he's wearing like a tracksuit and he has like
Yeah.
a wolf or something. Is that it? He's got like a floaty
We're talking
robot
about
wolf or something.
the one where he goes like into like
Yeah,
internet.
yeah, where they go into the internet.
Yeah,
like
yeah,
he has
yeah.
his net. I can't remember what it's called. I want to say NetNavi, but that sounds like something else. What's
Well,
that
like
from?
one of them was like a card playing version.
That's the
of that
one.
game.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, the Battle Network games. You had your cards, and it was a battle grid,
Boy, I'm
and
blind.
you could move like left and right up and down the grid, but you had like a set amount of cards you could use, and it wasn't like Kingdom Hearts. I think it was a little more lenient if you remember the Chain of Memories.
Oh yeah, the
Shit like
card
that.
system.
You know, I'm just
That
trying
was
to,
pretty bad, where you had to reshuffle and stuff like that. It wasn't like that.
I'm trying to dig up memories from church because that's when we did all of our Game Boy playing was at
Yeah,
church.
I feel like I'm forgetting a super
It's-
big one.
I know we had a whole bunch of Game Boy
All right,
games.
big ones was Metroid Fusion. Was
That's-
the Kirby game?
Yep.
What? There's another one.
There's another Metroid game on there too, right?
Zero Mission.
Zero Mission, which is basically just
It's
Super-
a
Super
remake.
Metroid.
That's a remake of the original.
yeah, but prettier.
I feel
Yeah, I don't want to fill it with dead air, but dude, I swear there's so many more Game Boy Advance games and stuff that I'm just missing.
I mean, of course, if they ever did a
Yeah.
mini, they're
What?
going to add, like, your regular Marios, your Kirbys. So, I mean, that's why I was trying to just throw it out there and get,
Yeah.
like, a expansive reach. Not just
They gotta get
the
this-
comfort games that Nintendo's already going to put on there.
Yeah.
That's why I thought Sonic Advance, I think Fire Emblem would be on there, natively from Nintendo.
Which one was you about to say?
the Link to the Past. Remember? That's not originally. I think that's
That's a Super Nintendo game.
yeah, but they had that on the Game Boy too, which I guess that wouldn't really count.
Yeah,
'Cause it'd be
because
fun.
they already have it on the SNES
Yeah.
Mini.
It'd be like, oh, you can play the Game Boy version now. And it's like, but it's the same game. No, it's the Game Boy version.
Dude,
Yeah.
I swear I'm forgetting.
They
some-
had Kirby Squeak Squad, but we didn't have that. And like Kirby and the Shining Mirror, or like Kirby and the really nice reflective mirror.
Kirby Topsy Turvy.
I don't even know where are our Game Boys at in the house.
I don't know. We had them in like a Pikachu.
Remember the
thing.
Pikachu
Yeah,
bag?
Pikachu
Yeah.
bag.
God,
There was one.
Throwback.
Didn't we have one? It was like a bunch of Capcom arcade games.
yeah. There's a little culmination of like arcade games just smushed on the Game Boy.
Yes.
So yes, my answer to that is yes. Make a Game Boy Mini. Another good question, by the way.
But Metroid
Yeah,
Fusion-
I like that. That was my favorite question of yours there, Joey. Sonic Advance is probably like my most played Game Boy Advance game. I used to play that shit all the fucking time
For us,
because I was terrible at it and I could never beat like a certain level. So I just go replay it and do it. As a kid, what do you do?
for
You can't
us-
buy new games and you just got one game to carry around in your pocket.
Yeah.
yeah,
Let's go.
It definitely had to be Metroid Fusion or Kirby's Nightmare in Dreamland for us because we played that so much that I think we could probably speedrun it.
Nightmare in Dreamland, that was a SNES game.
Which one was the thing?
That was. Yeah, you're right. That they did do a version of that before
Yeah,
the
whatever.
Game Boy game.
Whatever.
Metroid Fusion, okay. Metroid Fusion #1 all day,
That's
every
the
day.
that's the goat of.
Because they released that when like Metroid Prime came out, and you could like connect it to the. They did that
Oh
for
yeah,
a
they
while.
had the suit.
Yeah, you could connect it to the Game
you
Boy.
get your Game Boy adapter thing like you were talking about. We didn't have one, and plug in your
I don't know
Metroid
how the
Fusion.
fuck I
stick.
got one as a kid.
Yeah,
Who the
plug-
fuck? My parents don't even know about games.
I don't
How the
even-
fuck did I get half the shit?
I don't even
This
know.
is refer to like episode 4. I think we're just like, how the fuck did my parents know to buy me just this random shit that I
Yeah.
wanted? I never got an e-reader. Oh shit, that's what they should have.
the e-reader.
They should have every e-reader, DLC and all, packed into the Game Boy Mini. Because there's a lot of e-reader games that have lost content and stuff because one, e-readers, you can't find them, and most of the cards were region locked and you couldn't get them.
Interesting.
So there were certain games that you had to hook up to an e-reader and slide the card, and you couldn't play those levels without it. And like I said, some of them were region locked, so some regions didn't even get those cards or were able to even slide those cards.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Golden Sun.
Oh wait, which one? Holy
Whoa,
shit.
whoa, whoa, whoa! What was that one?
That was
like an RPG game, right?
yeah. You could use like the pushy hand to push things, and you could like summon elemental We didn't really get far in that game.
No, we didn't. That was one of those games that confused us as kids, and we were like, "What are you doing?"
I don't
You
even
guys
know how to read.
reminded me of one, and it's gonna probably be the end of this because we're getting really deep.
It's the
in.
longest running podcast so far.
It is. Do you guys remember the one that had a light sensor on it?
That was the vampire game.
Yeah.
Right, on the SP.
I mean, I think it was just a Game Boy game, but yeah, a Game Boy Advance game. Sorry, yeah, but yeah, you had to actually charge the. You had to play it in the sunlight or fluorescent light, whatever would actually detect, and it charged your gun in the game.
They put that gun in Metal Gear Solid 4, didn't they?
I have no idea.
Yeah, it's like an extra thing. Like if you beat the game or something under some condition, you can get a sunlight gun, and he
But
raises it up in the air. He's like sunlight, and fire it at people.
But I remember, like, did you ever play with the original Game Boy, not the SP without backlit?
You mean like the Game Boy?
We didn't have an SP.
Oh, okay, so yeah, so you know what I mean. There was a finite amount of light.
Yes.
Too much was too much, and too little was
there was
too
no
little.
there was no in between.
So like there was that game that you had to charge up. It had like a little IR or whatever sensor on it, and the game you had to charge it with that.
That's
And
crazy.
I
yeah.
love it when they do stuff like
Yeah.
that.
yeah, and so like when you're outside, it's almost too fucking bright to actually play the game
Mm-hmm.
because you're just looking at like this.
A glare.
You're like, why'd they use plastic? Why?
Yeah.
I can't see this. And then
If
you know
it's
when
the-
you're inside, you're like,
It's too dark.
I
It's
can't
like
shoot my gun.
yeah.
I can't shoot my gun. What do I do? Yeah.
That's that whole struggle of trying to play a game in the back seat on your Game Boy.
Oh yeah.
And having to use
Using the
the
street
street
lights.
lights.
We like to call it the good old nostalgia days, but
Yeah.
I think we have it better off now.
Back
Like-
when you couldn't
like
queue
this-
for dungeons.
This was the lighting you would need to play like a Game Boy Advance game or a Game.
But
Boy
I'd have to be like this.
Yeah, you'd have to cast a shadow over it.
Yeah, I
but
got my
still,
shoulder right here.
Yeah, but still
Yeah.
have light. But still have light coming in, so you could see what was happening. Crazy.
Yeah. I want to give a special shout out to Joey.
Yeah. Thanks for the questions.
Snugbug, whatever. You told me to refer to you as Joey, but I appreciate your questions. If you'd like to keep those coming in. Your friend that also commented on my stuff, if he wants to throw in some questions, that'd be nice. Anybody else that's listening, I want to thank you for tuning in to episode 7.
Can they throw in questions too?
Yeah, anybody.
Nice.
Go to my Twitter. I have all my links to everything below.
Let's try to keep it video game related. The questions. maybe?
Yeah. I mean, it's a gaming podcast, so
Unless you want to know about us.
I'm
Probably
more
not.
reserved on that
Yeah.
forefront. But just want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you, Joey, for the questions, and thanks for tuning in for episode 7 of Talking Snacks, a gaming podcast.